Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was on Capitol Hill talking about this $10 billion lawsuit between Donald Trump, the Treasury, and the IRS. Donald Trump is alleging that the IRS and the Treasury, etc., did not do enough to protect his taxes. You may remember a while back, while Donald Trump was fighting and litigating through the courts trying to keep people from seeing his taxes, in response to one of the FOIA requests, I think, or one of the many lawsuits he was dealing with. He was fighting, trying to keep those taxes hidden, and they got leaked to the press. Now, Donald Trump is saying he deserves $10 billion in compensation. Well, Scott Bessent was being asked about it, and I don't know the exact exchange, but basically it came down to, in one way, shape, or form, he was asked, that's going to be taxpayer money and that Donald Trump is seeking. And Scott Bessent said, yes, it would be taxpayer money. Because ultimately, anything paid out by the government is taxpayer money. And Donald Trump is perfectly fine with taxpayers footing the bill and giving him money. Well, he was asked by news anchor Tom Lamas and was said, they asked the president, would you be okay telling your employees, talking about both Pam Bondi and Scott Bessent, to settle this lawsuit and that they should just cut you a check? And he's perfectly fine with it. He doesn't see anything wrong with it, doesn't see it as a conflict of interest or anything else, and thinks it should just happen. But then he also said something else that was kind of telling. He said, well, maybe I'll give it to the American Red Cross. I don't want any of that money. I'm going to donate it all to charity. Well, we know what happens with Trump and charities. They were disbanded. The Trump charity was, I think it was called the Trump Foundation, for being a fraudulent charity, that it wasn't actually doing charitable work, and most of the money got funneled back into the Trump organization. Now, so Donald Trump saying that it's going to go to charity, I don't buy. And if he says, if what he just said is he doesn't want the money, then why file the lawsuit? Now, you could say it's about proving a point, but when you file a lawsuit like that, you could seek other things other than money. You could seek, especially when you're the president, you could seek things like regulatory reform and tighter scrutiny. And beyond that, he could direct them as the president to fix the problems that led to this in the first place. But he's not doing that. No, he wants the $10 billion, and he thinks he should just be able to direct the people under him to give it to him. I don't believe that he is going to actually give any of that money to charity. I think this is all just another grift and a way to enrich himself even more with taxpayer money.